We finally got a Superman trailer, a full one, because before we just got a teaser, but according to James Gunn, this is the first full trailer, the 1.0 trailer. I liked it. I thought it was pretty good. I have my issues with it, as always, but I did think it was pretty good. I love the theme that plays in the background during the entire thing. That theme is great. It's so good. I really love Mom and Pa Kent in the trailer. We get just a little bit of them. We get Pa Kent talking about what you do in your actions is what makes you who you are as a person. Love that. Ma Kent being like, I cleaned your boots for you. I'll get your suit. That was great. Loved all that. It seems really cool. I also like that they're in a small house now. James Gunn had talked about how he made it small because that's how he knew the people that lived in those areas. It's like, yeah, it makes sense because a lot of times you see like, here's the Kent farm and their gigantic, huge 2-story house that they have. I like that they're living a little more modestly. It makes more sense, and I think it make them more endearing as well. Now, the trailer opens up with Clark and Lois talking to each other, and Clark being like, "Hey, you can interview me as Superman." Their conversation is interesting. I liked it, but as I've said many times before, I hate the idea that Lois immediately knows that Clark and Superman are the same person because it ruins so many potential for good stories. There's so many great stories that can't be told now because she knows that Clark and Superman are the same person. It ruins that dynamic. It also makes it seem like she only cares for Clark because he's Superman, which does add up because James Gunn has said a billion times leading up to this that he's a fan of All-Star Superman, and in that, Lois couldn't give two shits about Clark. She only loves Superman, so it makes sense that that's how it is in the movie, considering that's a huge inspiration for the movie, for James Gunn. Also, it seems kind of similar to All-Star in the fact that in All-Star, there's just a lot of different events happening. There's just a lot of different tasks that Superman does, and that's what it seems like this movie is going to be. Because it's like, there's a kaiju. There's a war he's stopping. There's like a million different things. It's like, it seems very All-Star Superman-esque. So you can see the All-Star Superman influences here. But anyways, their conversation, they're talking about a war that Superman stopped. Lois is like, hey, you went and stopped this war. You realized the implications of that. Did you talk to the president? Blah, 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 blah. She's getting all in. She's going, he thought it was going to be a puff piece. He thought they were going to have fun. They were kind of, they were just messing around. But she's going full bore reporter mode. And Lois is like, what are you doing? Why'd you go there? You realize you're representing America. He's like, I'm not representing anyone but myself and doing good. I like their conversation. But I don't know how it's going to be until we see it fully in the movie, obviously. But what I mean by that is this is something that's really hard to write because Superman getting involved in war and these type of conflicts is very hard to write. It's hard to do well because comes a certain point to where it's like if Superman stops one war, then he has to stop every single war. And if he stops every war, then he stops being Superman and he becomes super dictator because then he's like, no, you puny humans, I control everything you do. You guys don't get to have conflicts and war. I control everything. And he becomes just this super god dictator. It's like, you don't want that. But then also, other side of it is where it's just Superman just sees us helping people. Part of it could be you could go too far and lean into the Superman's kind of just a naive baby man that doesn't see the what happens when you reach into these conflicts and what the problems it could solve, or just like, I'm just helping people. And he doesn't understand. It's like Superman's not an idiot. Obviously, he'd understand. It's not like he just flew to the planet yesterday. He's been here his entire life. He was raised here. So we'll see how it goes. I like their conversation. I like how Superman's just like, I was just helping people. I was very passionate about it. I like seeing some actual character to Clark because in the Zack Snyder Superman movies, we didn't really get a whole lot of character from Clark. He's very stoic, and we didn't get to see him be too anything other than stoic or like crying, and that was kind of it. There was no real in between. So seeing more character to Clark in the movies is great. I'm excited about that. But yeah, that scene, I liked it in the trailer, but we'll see how it plays out in the movie because that's a hard scene to write. But we'll see. I just don't like the fact that Lois already knows who Clark is, and it kind of annoys me. And it also really makes Lois seem really shallow because it seems like she had just been doing all this just to get to this point to interview Superman. That's what it really seemed, because she immediately, like, it seems they're fooling around, they're like making out, and then she's like, oh, I can interview Superman. Okay, she grabs her microphone instantly and then goes reporter mode. It's like, don't really care for that. But we'll see. We'll see. Again, this is just a trailer. Who knows in the movie? So yeah, we got that. We got a lot of Lex in the trailer, which is cool. We got Lex talking about how the whole world is talking about Superman. He doesn't like that. We see Lex, it seems a lot, is trying to just make Superman angry. Like he's drinking his mug straight in his face. He's just cool, calm, and collected. And then there's also the scenes where he's very much not. He's got tears in his eyes, very upset. But I like it. We see Superman just tossing a desk in what seems to be Lex's office. And so I'm excited for their interactions. I'm really happy that we got Nicholas Hoult cast as Lex, because I think he's a great actor, but also he's a young Lex for once, because every single time we get a Lex, it seems for some reason they're like, hey, Lex has to be 20 years older than our Superman actor, which makes no sense. It's not how it is in the comic. I don't like that. It's stupid. So I'm glad that we got a Lex that is around the same age as Superman. That's good. Every time I see this Superman suit, I don't like it. I hate the stupid freaking lines. I don't like the collar. It's not the worst suit ever, but there's just so many things where it's like, if you just change that, it would be so much better. The stupid lines and the collar really annoy me. And also, I think it does a disservice to David Cornsweet, because when I see David Cornsweet as Clark in this, I'm like, man, he looks great. But then when I see him as Superman, just something looks off, and I'm like, it's the suit. It's the suit that is like pulling him down. If he had a proper suit, he'd look amazing as Superman. But the suit just it's the opposite of flattering. It is so unflattering. It's just there's something the colors are good, but there's just so many things where it's like, man, if they got a really good suit, he would look perfect as Superman. But the suit is just off. Anyways, we got to see Clark and Jimmy interact a little bit. They seem like buds, which I'm happy about. Jimmy isn't a CIA agent this time that's just going to get shot, so that's cool. Now, one of my worries with this from the get-go has been that the movie's too packed with characters, because you got Guy Gardner, which we got to see make a construct, which is cool. He flicks his hands, so that was cool. We got to see Hawkgirl, Mr. Terrific, who it seems Mr. Terrific gets his ass beat in this trailer, because there's that part where Superman's fighting the engineer and whoever the villain with the U is, which a lot of people think it's Ultraman, but who knows? I don't think it's been announced yet. But he's fighting those two, and apparently Mr. Terrific joins him, and we just see him just laid out on the stadium. He was just knocked the hell out. But anyways, yeah, we got Guy Gardner, Hawkgirl, Mr. Terrific, Metamorpho. We've got a bunch of characters in this movie, and it's a Superman movie, not a Justice League movie or anything else, or a JSA movie or any type of team movie. So it's like, hopefully it's balanced well. Hopefully it doesn't feel too overstuffed, and hopefully it's able to focus on Superman, because at the end of the day, that's what I'm here for. But yeah, there's a lot. Seems there's gonna be a lot of action in this, which I'm all down for. Action comics, obviously, so I'm down for this. It looks really cool how the camera seems to be very dynamic in the action scenes, the way it moves, which lines up with what we saw in Guardians 3. There's a lot of the camera was very dynamic, so that looks cool. The action looks interesting. I love Superman being like, hey buddy, eyes up here, drawing the villain away from civilians and getting them to chase him. I love that. That looks great. And David Cornsweet sounds great as Superman. So yeah, I like this trailer. I thought it was pretty good. It's not my favorite trailer ever. I don't think it's up there with like the top tier of comic book trailers. There are some amazing ones like the Logan trailer. But I think it's pretty good. I love probably my biggest takeaway from this is I really love that theme. That Superman theme is so good. That little mix of like classic John Williams with like this new theme. It's really good. But yeah, I'm excited. I hope the movie's good. We're getting real close. July is getting closer and closer. And man, if this movie's not good, I'm going to be very sad. But yeah, that's basically all I had to say. I want to hear from you guys in the comments below. Let me know what you think of this trailer. Are you more excited? Are you not? Are you less excited? What do you think of the trailer? I want to hear from you guys. And thank you so much for watching. And I will see y'all later.
Hey, skinny boy, saucy boy, I be running to the bank. Yeah, you know I hit the gas in the whip full tank. Riding past the ocean while I'm listening to Frank.